Good morning. Here's what we're working on for you today. Some shoppers are gearing up for the busiest shopping day of the year. Plus, we have the latest store hours. And a car in a hotel. You won't believe it until you see it.
And good morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts. I'm in for the vacationing Lindsay Slater, who's getting some much needed time off today on this Thanksgiving. Good morning. Good to see you. We're looking at some pretty nice weather for today. We're going to have mostly sunny skies after some morning fog that we have to deal with, and temperatures getting up to about 70 degrees.
Good morning, I'm Deshandra Jefferson, and thanks for joining us on Thanksgiving. The turkey will soon be on the table, and for some, their shopping shoes are already by the door. Fox 48's Kourtney and Jackson talks to some shoppers preparing to spend their money and a store that's ready to take it.
Staying up extra late is worth the extra savings for many early holiday shoppers. And for retailers, it's a month of preparation that goes into the big day. This year, stores like Best Buy have decided to open at midnight to make way for even more shoppers.
Huge day, there is no doubt. We look to generate 10 times the revenue on that day that we do any other given weekend day, which is our higher volume and traffic days.
One group of shoppers have even staked out their spot with a tent just to be at the front of what is sure to be a long line.
A bit of controlled chaos, as everybody in retail knows.
But the adrenaline rush of knowing you're in for a big savings is worth it for people like Angel Howard.
I like the chase. I like the bust and the go. I'm the type of person just I like to get out and go. I love to shop anyway, so it doesn't bother me, but I definitely love a deal. I love a deal.
Some families have made Black Friday a part of their annual traditions. Kendrick Neely and his family strategize exactly where they'll go and save the most.
And that's what we're actually out here doing now, trying to price things and see exactly the quality of it before we get out of our beds on Thursday to see if it's worth going and looking at it.
Kourtney and Jackson, Fox 40 News.
Endless deals. Bargain hunters will be braving Black Friday crowds, and stores are pulling out all the stops in order to attract shoppers. While some are looking forward to this holiday, others are skipping it altogether.
No, it's not my intention to be out here on Black Friday shopping. Even though I like sales, the crowds are a bit much for me.
The State of Commerce says consumers will be looking for big bargains this year. And if you're looking for those early doorbuster deals, here's a quick list of the times your favorite stores are open. Toys R Us will open their doors starting at 9 p.m. Walmart won't be far behind, opening at 10 p.m. Target and Best Buy will start the shopping savings at midnight. Both Belk and JCPenney will open at 3 a.m. From the open road to the friendly skies and right down the tracks, Turkey Day travel is in full swing. If you plan to hit the highways over the holidays, you're not alone. AAA estimates that 42.5 million Americans will be on the move this Thanksgiving holiday.
Thanksgiving is just a very busy traveling day. Everyone wants to go home, and what we want to do is just make sure that they're being safe as they're out there traveling. They need to be aware that we are going to be out there and the presence is going to be strong.
Traveling by car is the preferred choice because it's more often affordable and convenient. Even though planes are pricier, the airports will still be packed this weekend. Here in the metro, Jackson Airport officials are expecting a busier travel season than last year. The busiest travel days this Saturday and Sunday, with more than an estimated 8,000 people arriving and departing from the capital city.
We're actually up 2% over last year's reservation information, so that's a good sign. I know that the AAA has mentioned that even though the economy is not in great shape, a lot of people do appear to be traveling through the holiday season.
Airport officials are encouraging travelers to check and recheck their arrival and departure schedules. And of course, get to the airport early. Riding the rails is also a top choice for Thanksgiving travel. Amtrak says the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is usually the busiest day, setting a record last year with over 134,000 riders. This year, Amtrak plans to operate every available passenger car and has scheduled extra trains in some areas. Speaking of the holiday, let's check in with Ashley Garner to see what local charities are doing in the metro area. Ashley, who's cooking and what?
Good morning, Deshandra. The Salvation Army is making sure that volunteer groups will serve the less fortunate a big feast today. Yesterday, the Sweet Potato Ladies and AmeriCorps were hard at work preparing a meal for 1,000 people. Organizers say it's actually food for the soul.
When we are able to offer a meal and a little bit of comfort it gives people a little bit of hope to take the next step forward to make it to the next day.
Giving Day meal will be served to the area homeless this morning at 11 at the Salvation Army. Stew Pot Community Services will also serve Thanksgiving dinner today. The feast begins at 11 and ends at 1. And the Gateway Rescue Mission in Jackson will cut their turkey at noon. Admission to the Jackson Zoo will be free today. Zoo officials say this is a great way to spend some quality time with the family. They also want to thank zoogoers for their support over the last year. Now the zoo opens this morning at 9 and ends today at 4:30. Again, admission is free. And that's a look at your Turkey Day. What's happening this Turkey Day? Back to you, Deshandra.
Thank you, Ashley. Now, the Jackson detective accused of killing his own daughter is in jail, but he still has his job. JPD says 36-year-old Natalia Gray faces capital murder charges for beating 1-year-old Aubrey Brown to death. Aubrey's mother, Phyllis Brown, filed a paternity suit against Gray earlier this year. It says he tried to disown the child. Gray was only allowed to have supervised visits with her. We spoke with one neighbor who says she saw Gray holding little Aubrey and giving her chest compressions when the ambulance arrived Sunday afternoon. We called Gray's attorney all day yesterday for comment, and he did not return our calls. We also called Phyllis Brown's attorney. She has not given us a statement yet either. She says Gray has 2 other children. This was quite a surprise at the Hampton Inn on Briarwood Drive last night. A veteran drove his car into the hotel. Officials tell us the man blacked out behind the wheel, smashing his vehicle into one of the rooms. Fortunately, no one was in the room at the time, and the man was not injured. In other news, Mississippi's 4 U.S. congressmen say they're confident a federal court will draw a fair redistricting plan. The 3 Republicans and 1 Democrat did not object to a 3-judge panel taking over the job of drawing new maps. Now, state lawmakers we spoke to say they still hope they can get the job done before the courts get involved.
I think the governor would call one if all the parties come together. He would call a one-day session and come in and take care of the congressional redistricting.
Tuesday, the judges ruled they would step in if state lawmakers could not get things together by December 4th. Southern Miss is under the state auditor's radar. They're looking into whether USM violated state law by buying and distributing 700 tablets this summer. The college spent more than $432,000 on the purchase. Officials say the university may not have followed the state's bidding law. The longtime band director at Florida A&M University is fired following the death of a drum major. Julian White was sent a termination letter citing his inability to stop suspected hazing in the band and music department. The Florida governor has launched a state investigation into the alleged hazing death of 26-year-old Robert Champion. He died Saturday night after a football game. White has 10 days to respond to his firing. Still to come, Chef Jeff Pelton, I believe, is joining us throughout the show. He's sharing some John Pelton, sorry. He's sharing some very delicious Thanksgiving recipes.
We want to get his name right because he is bringing food after all.
He's feeding us, and me, I love food. Like since January, I've put on 10 pounds since coming to Mississippi.
Where? I don't know.
All over, 10 pounds.
Plus, all that rich, delicious food on your Thanksgiving table, it can trigger an uncomfortable condition. Tips for avoiding heartburn and an even more serious problem. They're coming up next in today's Health Minute. Fox 40 AM continues right after the break.